Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob, I'll be your host. Have you ever been to a theme park? There's lots of them out there. Universal Studios, Disney World, Kings Island, Six Flags, Holiday World, and many more that I can't think of off the top of my head, but you probably know them. There are places where you can go for a fee to have some good old-fashioned fun with the rides and the games and the food and everything. Places that families go to build memories that'll last them the rest of their lives. But what if there is something sinister in the background? Something dark running the show? Maybe an eldritch horror is siphoning from the guests that show up to the park. Maybe some elaborate government cabal is running these places to experiment on the people that go there. We're going to talk about a game in this video that explores those concepts. We're going to talk about the happiest apocalypse on Earth. This book has 163 pages and a copyright of 2017. It was published by the author, Christopher Gray, and all of the artwork in this book is in black and white. It's a little cartoonish, but it fits with the book. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white. And it tends to be a little cartoony, but I think that goes well with this book. But all in all, the artwork sets a proper tone and mood for this game. To play this game, what you're going to need is, of course, a copy of this core rulebook and some six-sided dice. And that's all you need. This game uses what's known as the Apocalypse system, hence the name, the happiest apocalypse on Earth. Character generation in this game is extremely easy. Your character has 5 stats, which are brave, stout, sweet, wicked, and wise. And you get a +2, a +1, a +0, a +0, and a -1 to list beside each of these in whatever order that you want. And whenever you make a test using one of these attributes, you add that bonus or negative to your roll. Your roll will consist of rolling 2 six-sided dice, adding them together, and adding either your bonus or your negative for the stat you're using. And that'll determine whether you succeed or fail. A 6 or less is a failure. And then above that you have just success. And then success with benefits. But it describes it all in here. Your character also has harm that they can take. You can take 3 points of harm before your character is either dead or physically incapable of continuing in any of the game. And if you do not get medical help with your harm immediately, you gain an injury. An injury being like a limp from a massively damaged leg. Maybe you lost a hand. Maybe you got a pierced lung and you have breathing problems. Something physical that'll hinder your character for the rest of his life. And then you also take shock damage. Shock damage is mental damage that you can take. Again, if you take 3 points of shock damage, your character's done due to collapsing into insanity. And if you don't treat the points of shock you take immediately, you can gain a trauma, which is like injury and sticks with your character for the rest of their lives. Stuff like phobias or paranoias or psychosis, different mental traumas. And that's pretty cool. You get to choose whether you want your character to be a guest to the park or an employee of the park. And it's easier if everybody chooses the same thing. You can choose different things, but it's much easier if everybody's the same thing. Either employees of the park, which are known as Mouseketeers, or if they're just guests of the park. And you get certain moves depending on which one you are. And moves are what they call actions. And you can take whatever action you want or move that you want. But there are specific ones that gain you bonuses and special abilities for the type of character you play. And you also got a PAL rating. And the PAL rating is how you relate to the other characters. And the Game Master asks you a few questions, which are personal, professional, or financial. And depending on how the other characters answer those questions in regard to your character, you can get a +0, a +3, or a -3 when interacting with moves with that character. And that's pretty much it for character creation. There are also armor, wards, and merchandise, which are basically the equipment and weapons of this game. And it talks about how you can get those. And that's pretty much it. This game is really weird in the fact that it lends itself very easily to one-shot games. You can run a full-on campaign with it, but it's best suited for one-shots. And going in, the Game Master doesn't even really know what'll be going on, because at the start of the game, the characters and the Game Master work together to build the park that they're going to be in. What kind of attraction they're all going to be centered around, what kind of company runs the park, what's its name, what do they do other than the park, and even questions about the dark side of the park. Is it an eldritch horror? What's it look like? Stuff like that. So the Game Master pretty much just kind of reacts to what the players are doing, and you build a story together, which is really cool. Now, you can run a long-term game with this, and the characters gain experience points. Once you gain 5 experience points, you can buy another move from the move sets for your character, or you can save 10 and buy any move from any set that you want, which is pretty neat. But you only get a total of 5 advancements, and then your character is pretty much done in the game. And it gives some things that'll happen. Either a character is permanently expelled, they fall to the evils of the park, they move up to management, or they retire. Depending on whether you're a guest or an employee of the park. And the book is pretty neat. It's very strange to read through, but you and the Game Master build the whole thing together and explore the horrors, so even the Game Master is not really sure how it's going to turn out, which is really neat take for the Game Master. In the back of the book, they got a character sheet for you to photocopy and use. They even got little cards you can photocopy and use that describe the different moves. And even the Game Master characters have their own moves and stuff. It talks about how the Game Master can build a quick story for the game, and some of the examples they give kind of cracked me up. They're really good. It's even got some adventures that you can run in the back. And that's pretty much it. I haven't had a chance to run it yet, but I do have a group that wants to play, and I'm going to be running it as soon as I get the chance. But it sounds like a lot of fun to me. Which brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character in this game? I'm going to have to say yes. It's a horror game, and so I like horror, so it's right up my alley. Would I run this game? Again, I'm going to say yes, because once again, I like horror, and not really knowing how things are going to turn out, even as the Game Master, like how the park's going to look and what it's going to contain, kind of makes me interested. Would I recommend this game? And I'm going to have to say yes. I think it sounds like a lot of fun. It would be really, it lends itself very well, like I said, to one-shot games, but you can run it as a whole. And even when you get to the point where the characters retire, you can build new characters real quick and have them take on from where the old characters left off if you wanted to continue the game even longer, which is cool. And that's pretty much all I got to say for the Happiest Apocalypse on Earth. Thank you for joining me at a look at this game, and hopefully you'll join me next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.